in August 2021, you made your first video, which started the rest of this, well documented. Was there a spark that led to you making that first video?
No, I went into that day not expecting to make a video. Like, that wasn't pre-planned. But the events leading up to it is just my experiences in Iraq and Afghanistan. Everything I'm talking about were ideas that I had been developing through reading and writing. I studied in command of staff, foreign diplomacy, and how I thought we could make it more effective. And then when Afghanistan started happening, I couldn't wrap my brain around it. I mean, we decided to do a withdrawal from April to September, which is literally the peak fighting season, right? I mean, just that alone, like the start of the strategy, it was like, why are we not doing it from September to March? Like, that would make more sense. So then I was bothered, and then I was watching when we abandoned Bagram Air Base. Like, I've spent time on Bagram Air Base. It's hard for people to fathom how critical that piece of key terrain was. Even when Trump made the conditional plan, if you look at it, the last thing that we left was Bagram Air Base for all the right reasons, because of how critical that piece of terrain was. And then we just evacuated Bagram. We just let the Taliban walk in unopposed. We left like prisoners in the jail, weapons. Like, we didn't tell our Afghan partners. I mean, it just blew my mind. So I'm getting angrier by the day. And then the commandant, in response to that, released a message saying, you know, if your sacrifices were worth it, yes, they were. But if you're struggling, go seek counseling. And that really bothered me, because I felt victimizing the service member. We have a real suicide problem, and they don't need to be just told, like, hey, if they're struggling, they have problems and they need to go seek a therapist. He needed to address the root cause of why they were upset, which is senior leaders failing to win wars because of poor strategy and poor operational design.
In terms of your chain of command, did anyone at any point in time reach out to you and try to counsel you offline, kind of see what's going on? Having spent time in the Marine Corps any number of times, my NCOs or officers, if there was a problem inside the platoon or the company, they make it a point to pull people aside and try and talk to them offline. Did you have anything like that occur?
I did have one friend that did that, and then he shared the text to the investigating officer to show that he was trying to figure out my motive. So, it just felt like everyone that was trying to reach out to me was trying to hurt me. And so it was a very challenging situation. I did what I believed in, and we'll let the chips fall, but I'm trying to move forward. Mm-hmm. And I think that the American military is still one of the strongest militaries in the world. There just are some fundamental issues that are not being addressed. I mean, our current Secretary of Defense is saying that the number one problem is COVID. He's also talked a lot about extremism, but he's not talking about procurement. He's not talking about education. He's not talking about winning wars, holding generals accountable, the things that a Secretary of Defense should be discussing. And so, everyone has pointed out that it's not my place to say all these things, but my counter question would be, well, who else is saying it?
To circle back to the issue of accountability and the way that you exited the Marine Corps, it's kind of a two-part question here. Did you see any avenue inside the Marine Corps that would have allowed you to bring up these issues without getting in, without stirring the pot the way you did? And do you have any kind of message to people inside the Marine Corps today or the military today writ large who might be sharing the same kind of thoughts and looking for a way to push their concerns up the chain of command? Do you think there's a way inside to do that, or does it have to be on the outside?
I would never recommend somebody do what I did, but I will say that you need to identify your values prior to conflict. And when there's something that you truly believe in that's part of your values, you need to really analyze your situation and figure out if it's worth fighting for. And that's what I feel like I did. I don't think that had I worked within the system, I mean, this isn't something that I thought about this beforehand. Mm-hmm. Does going through the system via IG complaint, request mass, all of these processes, would that be effective? And I came to the conclusion that it wouldn't be, based on my experiences of watching these processes before. And so, everyone wants to talk about these processes, but they don't address how they're broken. That's why Congress right now is taking sexual assault out of the military's hands, because our military justice system is skewed.
Anything else you'd like to add before we cut this or sign off?
So in closing, I'll just add, a lot of people have told me that what I did won't make change and that this is just the way it is and that I should just accept this. And I fundamentally, philosophically disagree. I think the time right now is for people to find a voice and make change. I think we can't all be wrong. We all see the problems pretty clearly. And our senior leaders have demonstrated through action that they're not willing to address them. And so I think I can make change. I think people that think like me are getting louder, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
All right, Stu. Thank you so much for your time.